Hey everyone, and welcome back to another BMW 4.6 IS video. Today, we're going to take a look at the repairs that the 4.6 IS has needed over the course of this last year. So, let's get started. And before I begin, I just want to give a big thanks to Orion Automotive for helping us. If you're in the Vancouver area and you need automotive work done, I'd highly recommend contacting Orion. Alright, so after 1 year of ownership, the first repair that was needed was replacing the front brakes. And this was indicated by the check brake lining message, which appeared on the dashboard. We ordered a brake replacement kit from FCP Euro, which included discs and pads for the front wheels, along with a brake wear sensor from the local BMW dealership. So after starting on the driver's side, everything was going according to plan until we came across one of the caliper bolts. We took off the wheel and the anti-rattle clip and disconnected the brake pad wear sensor. However, once we took off the caps for the caliper bolts and tried to remove one of them was absolutely seized. We tried everything we had at our disposal, which consisted of WD-40 and other penetrating fluids, but we ended up stripping the bolt. At that point, it was clear we were going to need Orion's help. Now, Orion used a few methods in order to get the seized bolt out of the caliper carrier. The first was using a heat inductor to hopefully loosen the bolt. However, that didn't appear to work, and the head had to be sawed off. Once the caliper carrier was disconnected with the remains of the seized bolt, the heat inductor was used again to loosen up the remains, and then it was pulled out. Afterwards, the brake job proceeded as normal on both sides. So fast forward 1 week later, and just as we thought the X5 was fixed and ready to film a 1 year ownership report and full in-depth review, it decided to not start. Now, the first thing we tried was scanning for any error codes, but nothing seemed to appear. So the next thing we did was we took a look at the starter relay. Unfortunately, after replacing the starter relay, the X5 still wouldn't start. And at this point, it was clear that we were going to need a tow back to Orion's to replace the starter motor. The starter motor is a bit tricky to access on any BMW E53 X5 that has a V8 engine. You've got a metal plate below that's bolted to the anti-sway bar, which needs to be removed first in order to gain access to the starter motor. Replacing the starter motor is also a little bit tricky. There are fastener bolts which hold it in place and require E12 torque spits. These can be tricky to take off and most likely will require an extension. You also need a 13mm to take off the positive cable nut and also unclip some electrical fasteners. The heat shield around the starter motor also requires 10mm fasteners to be removed. And afterwards, it's pretty much the reverse process of putting in the new starter motor. Well everyone, that concludes an overview of what went wrong over the last year of ownership with this BMW 4.6 IS. Other than the starter motor and the front brakes, it hasn't demanded any other maintenance to be done. The car is by no means perfect, but overall I would say that it's in acceptable mechanical shape. Now don't get me wrong, there are a few oil leaks here and there, but that's to be expected with a BMW of this vintage. It also has very minimal rust, which is great. So thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed this video about owning a BMW 4.6 IS, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, as we've got more videos planned about it. Also, let me know in the comments if you would like to see any specific content about the 4.6 IS. So as always, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.